Hi everybody, welcome to part 4 of this video tutorial series on database normalization. We've been looking at how to get a database table from unnormalized form to first normal form, and we followed some rules to make that happen. When we got into first normal form, we identified that there were some partial dependencies. So we normalized the table to second normal form, okay, to remove those partial dependencies. What we're going to do today is in our second normal form, which has 3 entities, we'll look at those in a moment, we're going to see if we have any transitive dependencies. And if we have any transitive dependencies, we need to normalize our table to third normal form. Okay, a third normal form table doesn't have any transitive dependencies, just as a second normal form database doesn't have any partial dependencies. So that's what we're going to be looking at in today's session. Does our second normal form database have any transitive dependencies? Now, before we answer that question, let's just quickly review how we got to second normal form. Our database now has 3 entities. We have a buses table. This is one of the entities in our database. We have a routes table. This is another entity in our database. There's the primary key. And in our trips table, this is a very interesting table. This is the third entity. Again, we've got a primary key, which is a composite key. It's the bus number and the date combined to form the primary key. So that's known as a composite key. And we can also see that bus num and route ID are foreign keys. Okay. All that means is route ID is a primary key in another table in the database. In fact, it's a primary key in the route table. Okay. All right, so we're in second normal form. We're going to ask ourselves, are there any transitive dependencies? And if so, we need to do one final normalization to third normal form. So let's look at this table. I'm going to suggest to you that table buses is fine. It's fully normalized. Table routes, absolutely fine. It's fully normalized. This is the table where we may have an issue. Now, if we look at the data, we're trying to see if all of the non-key fields, there are 1, 2, 3, there are 4 of them, are they fully dependent on the primary key? Okay. Now we can suggest that the route ID is fully dependent on the bus number on this date. We will be taking this route. Absolutely. The driver, first name and second name, this driver will be taking this route on this date. So absolutely we can suggest that the driver first name and second name, these 2 non-key attributes, are dependent on the full primary key. The issue is the bus driver address. Is the driver's address dependent on the bus number and the date of the trip? No, the driver's address is dependent just on the driver information. Okay, these are non-key attributes. So this attribute is dependent on these non-key attributes. It's not dependent on the primary key at all. This is known as a transitive dependency. And now we know that we need to manage that situation and get into third normal form. Now, the way that we're going to do that is we're going to take all of the driver-related data and we're going to cut it into, you've guessed it, a 4th entity in our database design. Okay, let's give it a primary key. Just call it driver ID. Again, let's just make it a auto-incrementing key. And now let's just delete any repeating data. So Jess Lowe, there's only one Jess Lowe who's a driver. So let's delete Jess Lowe, Will Suzuki. We only need one Will. So this is now the driver table. Oh, Jack Lake. We need to get rid of that second Jack. Right. Okay. So here we've got our primary key. And in our database design at the moment, we've got 3 drivers, Jack, Will, and Jess. And those drivers are used to drive buses on trips. Okay? So I'm sure you can guess what we're just about to do now. We're going to create a new field. Now, this is a foreign key field, right? This field, I've just got rid of it. That's a foreign key. And let's just bring the date field in here. Let's make it look pretty. And now let's populate our driver ID field. Again, nothing serious here. I'm just going to go back to my driver table and look at the driver IDs. 1, 5, and 6 are the only IDs available. So let's suggest that driver 1 takes this bus on this route on this date. And driver number, what were the other driver IDs? 1, 5, and 6. Just bus number 5 does that one. Driver number 5 does that one. Driver number 6 does that one. Driver number 1 does that one. And driver number 6 does that one. Okay. So we've normalized our database into third normal form by eliminating transitive dependencies from our second normal form database. So take a moment to digest some of that information and ask yourself how clear these steps have been normalizing a database from unnormalized form into first normal form, from first normal form into second normal form, and then from second normal form into third normal form.